Yeah, what's good? What's good? I'm back. Been doing a couple reactions. No, I'm gonna do this movie review. So I'm streaming them because I don't have time to edit and upload them. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stream this review. But I watched Bird Box. I watched Bird Box on Netflix, and I'm gonna give a quick review. But first, I got a little intro. Let's just go ahead see how that feel. All right. Uh, that's my intro. All right. Thanks for checking out the channel. My name is Antoine. This is Epic Entertainment Critics, and I'm gonna review Bird Box. Okay. So watch that. Watch the Netflix Bird Box. Um, it was starring Sandra Bullock, John Malkovich, Laurel Harry, Machine Gun Kelly, and then there was a few other people in there. Those are names I can remember. Okay, so now this movie is like a post-apocalypse, and a big event happened, and people were trying to survive. So the trailer came out a couple months ago. It looked real interesting. You don't know what's going on because Sandra Bullock is on there with a blindfold, and she got the kids in the boat, and she like saying, "Do not take your blindfold off, no, no matter what." So you like, oh, what? This looks very interesting. So I'm gonna tell you right this. So after watching this movie kind of it looks like it was something kind of new and very interesting. But I'm sorry to say it wasn't. It was a decent watch. It was a decent watch, but it took a lot of ideas already done by other movies just like this, and it had a few cliches in there. So your main character, Sandra Bullock, I can't even remember her character name. She was like an artist, and she was pregnant. And I can't quite remember what was the deal. Like, was was um was she with her father of her child, or I think she was gonna be a single parent, or maybe she was with him. I don't know. I think it was one of those deals where they broke up, and she found out she was pregnant, but the relationship was already over, so she had to decide was she gonna keep the baby. I think it was like one of them deals or whatever. So, um, so this is kind of like your setup. Okay, so now an event is happening, and this is eerily similar to a movie called The Happening that was made by M. Night Shyamalan with Mark Wahlberg in there. Now, this movie is like it's so many people hate that movie called The Happening. Wasn't a great movie. So in that movie, it was like for some reason people just start killing themselves. Like people just they were going about their day, and something made them commit suicide. Whatever. People just you know. Construction workers was jumping off buildings, and lawnmower dudes the lawnmower the landscapers was sitting in front of the giant lawnmowers. They let the lawnmower roll over. So it was crazy stuff like that. So this was kind of like a similar premise. For some reason, people just start committing suicide, and then they pinpoint what was the reason, and for somehow they just realized it was something they look at, not to look or something. And tell the truth, I can't see how people came to their conclusion when they saw other people doing stuff. I guess they heard the people who did it look at something and say, "I see this," and then they decided not to look. That's how they knew that that was causing them to do it. So the people who didn't look didn't die. So, okay, this is where the cliche stuff come in at. So you got a few survivors, and they all gather in the house. Where I say the cliche moments are, it's like stuff like this happens in movies, and you always got your same characters. You got your cliche characters. You got your main male protagonist and your main female protagonist. They are always the most level-headed people out the groups, and the most passionate because they always want to help everybody. They always got all the answers. Okay, then you got your panicky guy. You got the one that panics a lot and everything happened, they screaming and stuff. Then you got your whiner, you got the one that's whining about everything and saying how this can't be happening and all that stuff. And then you got your asshole. That was your John Malkovich character. So so you got the one, you know, you got your asshole ready to kick everybody out the house or whatever. And then, you know, and then you got your couple extra characters. You got another male and female. Probably they usually end up hooking up. So that's where it was like some cliches where I was already seeing like, okay, they hitting all the cliche marks where in movies like this, you got all your cliche characters and they do all your cliche things. Okay. So from there on, you know how the movie goes. They trying to survive. So this movie is a little different where it was told non-linear. So they start at one part of the movie where we kind of come in where this stuff is going on, okay? And then we go back and see how they led to that. And those part was kind of in order because as the movie was moving on in the present, when it went to the past, it didn't go out of order. It just stayed in the linear. It stayed in the linear. It stayed in a little linear thing for us when it goes back to the past. So it didn't like go back to different times in the past. It just went to right when it happened to all the way up to where they was at now. So they jumped back and forward to what was going on now. That's where you see where Sandra Bullock was kind of in the boat because in the present they're trying to survive. So the cliche moments more came from the past where when everybody got together and they was trying to survive. All those were a lot of that was a lot of cliche things. So now you kind of mix it up a little bit when you add. So this is also a cliche moment when you add the unknown guy. The unknown guy, once he enters the equation, that's when the crazy stuff started to happen. So you already got, you got all your characters get to know each other and they get to gelling and they surviving. And then when you bring your unknown element, that's when things shake up. So they followed that whole formula to a T, up to, then you got your comic relief. That was Laurel Harvey. He was like the comic guy. So just like these movies go, people, once they get all together, people kind of die one by one. I'm not going to tell you exactly how that happened. But the thing is, when people were starting to fall off, I didn't care because for some reason, it's like they didn't really let you get to know these characters or like them. They gave a lot of them kind of a little screen time. So it's like I didn't really feel nothing for these characters. So when they started to fall off one by one, I was kind of like, oh, okay. They had a moment in the movie where one character died, another one's like, what? I can't believe he died, or what about such and such? It's like, did y'all really know him? Because I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Y'all met him just as long as I met him, and I mean, he's cool. He seemed like a cool guy, but I mean, I didn't know him like that. You didn't know him like that, So the movie was kind of moving. It wasn't that long, so I think they didn't have time for all these character development, especially when you got a lot of characters. So you had your main guy, I can't remember his name, but he was your main protagonist. I think that's the dude from the black guy that's in Moonlight, and he's also in the Predator movie. But I cannot remember his name. I'm sorry, it escapes me. But he was your main protagonist, and it was the writing was too set up to be she's gonna like this guy because he was the only guy that was nice, only guy that was talking sense. Everybody else was like, let's get, everybody else was talking crazy, like let's get out of here. I can't believe this happening. He was like, level-headed. He was just thinking, he was level-headed. He was thinking logical. He was trying to figure out a way to help people and stuff. So you already know they set him up as your man. And then, Sandra Bullock. This is basically the avatar of the audience. So we, so they was bound to hook up or whatever. I mean, then it got to a point where there's only two people left. So I mean, shit, you ain't got too many choices. So I mean, that was okay, but like I said, it was played very cliched, and it was enjoyable enough, but it wasn't nothing new. So uh, it also reminiscent of a movie called It Comes at Night, where there was a lot of elements of there. So it was a lot of you don't know what's out there kind of deal, but everybody was just kind of paranoid. But they didn't turn the paranoia on each other. But it was, like I said, it was a unknown element that that made it get more made it more unpredictable what was going to happen. But it was still kind of predictable because you just knew once they added that guy, the unknown guy, that's when everything's gonna turn crazy. So that was good. So once all that started happening, then you got your ending where you got these kids that were in trouble. Their life was in jeopardy. But in American cinema, they do not kill kids like that. And I'm not saying I want them to. Of course I don't. But it ain't no drama for me. It ain't no suspense for me because they're not going to kill these kids. These are two little cute kids. It's no way they was actually going to put their life in danger, So I was like, okay, they're going to make it. So no matter what was happening, I didn't feel like, oh, will they make it? I already knew they was gonna make it because they're not gonna do that to no little kids. So I didn't feel no suspense when the kid's life was in danger. So I was like, okay, maybe if you put the Sandra Bullock life in danger, because it got to a point it was just Sandra Bullock and two kids. Maybe if you put Sandra Bullock life in danger, I could be more invested. But I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel like her life was gonna. I didn't feel like she was in danger. I didn't feel like her life was in danger because she had to look after the kids. They weren't gonna leave them little kids by themselves. Plus, she the main protagonist. So I just didn't feel the setup because of the way movies are and the setup. I did not feel no tension. It was decent, but I didn't feel no tension. And then they like I said, it was told. It was told in two sections. It was told from the present and the past, and the present kind of like caught up to where we was at. The past caught up to where the present was at, and that's kind of how they told the story, which is a decent way, to do it, but it wasn't too exciting because everything that led up to the climax was very cliched. I'm not going to say what they could not see. The thing they didn't kind of really explain. The thing was, they when they saw, I don't think they explained what it was. And I'm gonna tell you what the birds in the box meant. The birds in the box could see or detect whatever it was that made people go crazy, and the birds would chirp real loud if something would be if they was close to them. When I say they alluded to it was something, but you didn't see what they talking about. So that's all I'm gonna say on that because I don't want to spoil it. This is a non-spoiler review, and they didn't really give you answers on what the hell this was. But by the time the movie's over, I really didn't care. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say I didn't say at the end. So what was it? I didn't say that. I was like, okay, it was cool. Wasn't nothing too. It wasn't nothing I haven't seen before, but it was still a decent watch. Something I think is worth watching one time, and you might enjoy it. But other than that, it was not nothing that special. Like I said, it basically ripped off The Happening and It Comes at Night. So it ripped off two movies, and you put Sandra Bullock in her. She had a lot of plastic surgery, by the way. She looked okay, but I could tell she had a lot of plastic surgery done. But okay, I'm gonna wrap this up. So this movie on my rating scale, I give this movie all right. My rating scale goes from an epic is the best to hot garbage is the worst, and somewhere in the middle, you got you a dope and an all right and a whack. I'm gonna give this an all right. This movie it was all right. It was not a bad watch. Had in some moments that was kind of exciting. Sandra Bullock did a pretty good job on acting. All the acting was pretty good, but the writing they was given to work with was very cliched. John Malkovich did good as an asshole. I mean, he basically played himself. Like I don't think John Malkovich is an asshole, but he always had that sarcastic tone, whereas he pretty much just played himself. He was the asshole that never wanted to help anybody, or where these new guys come from. Nope, they gotta go. One of them. But like I said, everybody had a cliche character, but the actors did what they were supposed to have did. So all the actors were good. The writing just was, needed. They sold us something that this movie was going to be real different, and it wasn't. They just ripped off a couple of movies and put some good actors in it. That's all they did. So I gave the movie all right because I said it's worth a watch, but it ain't nothing that you want to brag about. So that's it, man. That's like I said, it was just all right. All right, I'm gonna wrap up my review. Thanks for checking out the video, man. Give some thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. All right, y'all. Appreciate you. Peace.